What's good, Detroit Sports Nation? I am Eric Vincent, your host here at the DSN News Desk, back again to chop it up with you, the best fan base in the world. I appreciate your time and support because we got to take a little bit of time to react to the latest episode of Hard Knocks with the Detroit Lions on HBO. Episode 4 just wrapped up on their way to their season finale, which is coming up next week. And honestly, this last episode went pretty much exactly how I thought it would. I really thought the mood was going to be a little more different than what we've seen leading up to this episode. Because if you think about it, the first 3 episodes, it was a lot of happiness. It was a lot of optimism, a lot of personality from the coaching staff, the players, a lot of camaraderie building, a lot of hyping up, a lot of Kool-Aid sipping, of course, done by myself on the Honolulu Blue. But things definitely took a bit of a turn in this latest episode, because coming off the heels of their loss against the Pittsburgh Steelers, I was anticipating an upset coaching staff. We kind of saw a little bit of that with Aaron Glenn. He was more so upset in this episode after a scrimmage that I guess the defense didn't play so well against in the offense. But from what we saw in the preseason game, they weren't really playing that well in that either. They weren't really consistent. It was a lot of penalties. It was a lot of sloppy play. So it was a lot of mixed emotions throughout the episode. Another key factor in that is the trimming of the roster. This is the point where they were trying to get down to the 53-man roster from the 80-plus, I believe, they had during the episode. We actually have a write-up on our website right now, DetroitSportsNation.com. We've had a live tracker keying in on all the cuts and the live transactions and releases that have happened. Please check our website out now if you want to take a look to see some of the players, because they highlighted some of them. Like, they didn't really mention and, put on wax who the cut players were, because at this point, this is from what they recorded, and it wasn't official yet. So the season finale, they've already hinted towards speaking to those cuts, and that's where I think things are going to get even more sad. I mean, again, it was a little tough seeing guys like, Khalil Pimpleton, the Central Michigan receiver, showing a bit of his struggles a bit during practice, and especially during the Steelers game, where he dropped the touchdown pass in the end zone. He's visibly upset heading back to the sideline. Teammates had to talk him up, let him know it was okay, shake it off, go on to the next play. But you could tell it got to him. You could tell he was a little bit emotional about it. And again, at this point where they're going to have to be making these calls and having to have these conversations with these players, it's going to be a tough watch. I fully predicted to be that. Please keep your Kleenex on tap and on hand for this episode. I guarantee it's going to be some waterworks. If not from you, it's going to be from the players for damn sure, because the coaches are basically saying, it's not an end to their dreams as being NFL players. It's just a stop in this moment. Just because, the door may close with the Lions for now does not mean they won't have an opportunity in the future. It just means for now, they don't really see the future in the fit with the team. It's tough. Again, I can't. We saw Brad Holmes and we saw Dan Campbell talking to each other and looking at some of the names and talking about how stressful and just gut-wrenching this process was. And we're going to have to see it unfold on the season finale. And I'm not excited about it, but I am to see how the show concludes. Just based on everything that we've seen, and knowing that Dan Campbell and the coaching staff are very player-friendly, down-to-earth kind of coaches to what we've seen thus far, I do believe they're going to handle it the right way. I believe they're going to be just as emotional. It's not going to be like a corporate job where they hit you with the, best of luck on your future endeavors, and then you keep it moving. Like, I don't think that's going to happen. I think they're going to have some pretty deep, passionate conversations, and I think we're going to see a lot of that unfold in a pretty gut-wrenching way. So get yourself prepared for the season finale. But, we're going in a little bit happy, too. I did see some things that I liked in this latest episode as well. I did like the highlighting of Jared Goff. I like them talking about, his progression, what he's doing thus far in the training camp with his new targets, his new receivers, the offensive line. They're really, honing in on what Dan Campbell was proud of and what he's seen from him thus far. And it's a lot to be proud of with him. And even with the off-the-field stuff, when he was, in the meeting room with his little intern who said he wanted to be the best man for the wedding with him and his fiance, like, that was really cool, man. I really enjoyed seeing that part of Jared Goff because, like, we all know he's got a tough road. being accepted and loved into this fan base. He's coming off the heels of playing after Matthew Stafford, who was traded for him, and now he's the guy on a short 2-year deal as your bridge quarterback at the moment, if they don't find somebody for the future. But as of right now, he's your bridge guy, and it's not a super ton of optimism on him. It was a lot of skepticism to see what he was going to be, but he's living up to a lot of the hype. And to see him be productive on the field and find a way to build some emotional connection with some of the fans, some of the kids, his teammates, the coaching staff, I appreciate seeing that. I mean, again, it's not going to be an easy ride for him. You know, he's going to be one of the most scrutinized players in the NFL because this is a huge make-or-break season for him. But I like the way he's embraced it. I like the way he's taken on the challenge, and I like the way that his team and the coaches are rallying around him. So I appreciate that. Trash talking Aiden Hutchinson has become one of my favorite things. We saw him talking trash to the Steelers tackle when he dipped on him and, you know, hit him with a couple nice moves. He was talking trash during the practice. And we saw it last week as well when he was talking trash to the Colts. Get the F off me. He was, you know, we're seeing a whole different edge inside to him. And I think that's going to be cool to develop as well because you need some nastiness. You know, you can't have a bunch of choir boys on your team. You need some nasty dogs that don't mind mixing it up. So I did like seeing that on Aiden Hutchinson. One other piece that I like, the final point that I'll make, and it's not really football pointed, but I like how they're keeping everything tied to Detroit in this with the episodes. We see it with the music and the soundtrack. I remember they were playing Big Sean in the last episode. Then they follow up with this episode playing Eminem and Motown music. Like, they're really doing a great job of keeping and highlighting the talent and the focus of Detroit. Even when they brought in the comedian in the last episode, he's from Detroit. Like, I really like the way they're doing that. Look, we know how it goes in Detroit. We like our players to represent the label and the identity of our city. Dan Campbell has the grit hat. They see it painted on the wall. They want to see the reflection of Detroit in the players. And I think they're doing an awesome job highlighting that and showing what that important value really brings to the team and how they're motivating themselves and how they're trying to represent themselves for the franchise and for the city. I really love it. I think they're doing an awesome job. It's going to be an emotional finish to the series, but I can't wait to check it out myself. But of course, I would love to hear your feedback. Talk to me in the comment section below. Hit us up and let me know how you're feeling about this latest episode and how you're feeling about the season finale coming up next week. What are your anticipations for it? Who do you think are some players they'll talk about? Talk to me about the cuts as well. Again, this is a huge focal point of this episode and the next one coming up. Do you think they're making any mistakes? There's some guys you want to focus on for the cuts in the next episodes. I would love to hear what you think. Let us know. Like the video down below, and please subscribe as well. It's an awesome and free way to stay tapped into us and to keep the channel supported. We would really appreciate your help. Of course, you can hit us up on our website, again, DetroitSportsNation.com, and search us up on all socials as well. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, all the above. Search and tap into Detroit Sports Nation and follow me along as well. My personal social right here at I am Eric Vincent, and I can't wait to tap in and talk to you soon right here at the DSN News Desk. Peace.